Yes, hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ergonomics and Facilities Planning for Hospitality. This is week 4. Okay, so our topic is about the water and wastewater system in the hospitality industry. Okay, water is used at all lodging establishments for bathing and sanitary purposes in guest room, for drinking, and for cleaning activities in and about the facility. In addition, water is used for sanitizing purposes and cooking in restaurants, for cleaning the laundry operations, for recreational purposes such as a swimming pool, for safety system, and as for cooling medium for various pieces of equipment. Most of water used at a property is disposed of through the property sewage systems. Exception to these are the make-up water used in cooling towers and swimming pools, and the water used on lawns and shrubs. And an important subcategory of water usage is hot water usage, which costs the property not only for the water but also for the energy used to heat the water. Okay? So as much as possible sa hospitality industry, kung kaya nilang makasave ng water through cycling, no? Sa pagre-recycle ng water, no? Yun yung ini-implement nila. So dito makikita natin kung paano nila i-discuss kung paano nire-recycle yung ibang water na pwedeng i-recycle sa hospitality industry. Water usage in the lodging industry. Levels of actual usage and cost of individual hotels vary significantly by type of hotel, location, facilities, and managerial attention to the water usage. Okay, sa exhibit. And yung, for example, larger properties generally use more water per room than do smaller properties. As the level of service and amenities increase, so does the amount of water consumption. So remember, kung mas malaki ang hotel mo, mas malaki talaga ang usage of water. Kasi, syempre, mas maraming guest rooms, mas maraming capacity ng restaurant, no? Mas marami kang nilolaundry na ginagawang laundry compared dun sa small establishment. So napakalayo naman talaga ng figures ng small hotel compared sa big or mega hotels. Okay? Parang sa bahay natin. Okay? Kung sa bahay natin, for example, 3 lang kayo ang nag-stay, gumagamit. Okay? No? Kahit malaki yung bahay nyo, kung 3 lang kayo, ang consumption nyo pa rin, sabihin mo ng 3 cubic meters. Pero kung every New Year o Christmas and New Year, darating sila mga tito, tita, mga kamag-anak nyo, abot kayo ng 20 to 30 sa bahay, okay? Magiging 3 cubic meters pa bang mga consume nyo? Siyempre hindi. Mas marami. Okay? Further analysis of water consumption data indicates that the presence of on-site laundry, kitchen, extensive irrigation, and clothing towers can significantly affect the total water consumption. For example, hotels with on-site laundry operation for which study data were available show that laundry water consumption ranging from 5 to 29% of total water usage. Okay? Siyempre, imagine nyo naman ha, yung mga pag small hotel ka ba, okay, sabihin mo ng 20 rooms ka, tapos maglalagay ka ng laundry area, is it worth it? Nagpapasahod ka? Yung ginastos mo for the equipment? Siyempre hindi. So ano bang ginagawa mo? Outsource ka ng mga laundry areas. O baka gusto nyo kung supplyan na kayo ang mag-laundry ng mga ng mga linens ko. Okay? Siyempre, mas efficient at mas convenient para sa atin na small operating hotels. Kasi, unang-una, hindi mo na kailangan mag-employ ng tao para sa laundry. At the same time, hindi mo na kailangan bumili ng mga equipment like washing machine, tapos yung mga daily uses pa na yung mga powder soap, okay, detergent, pa-maintenance pa, okay? Unlike pag malaking hotel ka na o yung mga 5-star hotel which you had the capacity of at least 400 rooms, 400 to 800 rooms. Sa tingin nyo ba kakayanin? Siyempre hindi. So anong advisable? Mas maganda, mas makakatipid ka at mas convenient para sa inyo. Kasi sa sobrang dami ng linens na ah, ginagamit, no, mas madali, nandoon lang sa laundry area, sa baba. After nyan, pwede na itaas ka agad sa housekeeping para sila mag-ano, mag-bed makeup. Okay? So, mabilis ka agad yung rotation. Unlike pag ganun, dun sa papalaundry mo pa sa labas, syempre yung hours pa na nasa labas siya kukuhanin, yung hours pa na ibabalik. So, pag nangailangan ka, wala kang makukuha kasi nasa labas yung mga linen mo. Okay? Next is water system. Okay? In the building, water system pipes made of galvanized iron, steel, copper, or plastic PVC, CP, VC contain water under pressure. Excuse me. The pressure is supplied by water utility pumps at the property or combination of water. Of this, the pipes contain valves which may use in isolation of elements of the system, shutting off the supply of water to use the elements or the entire system. Okay? Ito pa, other valves called backflow preventers are used to prevent water from flowing from one subsystem to another. For example, an outside hose connection can prevent water standing in the hose from re-entering the building of water system. Okay, storm sewer system involved in disposal of rainwater. It flows directly some of discharge location where the rainwater enters a river, lake, or other drainage system. In contrast, the sanitary sewer system is involved in the removal of waste products from the facility. This system carries waste product to a sewage treatment facility. Okay, so sa water system, later on makikita nyo bakit sa video makikita nyo bakit napakadaming pipings, no? Meron kasi yung planning ng pagpapipe, may flow 'yan. Okay? Siyempre, yung source mo, papump yan doon sa water heater para pag dating sa taas, mainit, may cold and hot shower ka. No, ifo-flow din yan imagine nyo kung napakalaki ng hotel nyo, no, napaka-critical ng pag-layout ng mga piping para sa atin. Pero sa mga engineers na nagde-design yan, napakadali lang. Okay? Backflow preventers, syempre naglalagay sila dyan ng gate valve para ang purpose, no, hindi bumalik yung tubig. Doon sa pinagdaanan niya, hindi nababalik doon. Kasi remember, pressurized lahat ng tubig na yan. So pag may nagka-problema doon sa pipe na yan, no, may tendency na pumutok. Okay? Building wastewater systems are generally designed to use a gravity flow system. Pumps are used only when necessary. This is the reason the bottom ceiling is lodging facilities are often lower than the ceiling. In other parts of the guest room, the facilities in the rooms above need space to run waistline, which rely on gravity flow. Okay, let's focus on the gravity flow. Hindi ko alam kung familiar kayo, kung na-try nyo na mag-check-in sa mga hotel sa Baguio. Yan, ang isang magandang example. Remember, ang Baguio City, hindi pa sila noon, wala pa sila hindi pa sila pinapasok ng nawasa. Okay? Wala pa. Kasi imagine niyo ang taas-taas ng Baguio. Okay? Unlike sa atin, nandito sa baba, pwede ka mag-deep well, kumuha ng tubig, pwede mo ipump sa mga bahay-bahay. Pero doon, saan sila kukuha ng tubig? No? Paano ka? Ilang feet yung kailangan mong hukayin para masabi mo magkaroon ka ng deep well? Nasa taas ka ng bundok. Okay? So, anong ginagawa nila? Kung makikita nyo, karamihan, most of the properties, the buildings, the hotels in Baguio, meron silang mga drums, okay? Malalaking drums of water doon sa roof deck nila. Kasi gumagamit sila ng gravity. No? Imbis na yung tangke nila nasa baba at ipapump sa mga kwarto sa taas, mas costly. So, anong gagawin nila? Ilalagay nila lahat ng drum sa taas. Then, doon nila kinakargahan sa taas. At the same time, wala nang ka-effort kasi gravity na yung magpupull dun sa water papunta sa mga rooms. So, pressurized na din siya. Kasi sa dami sa bigat ng tubig na yon, nabibuild up ng pressure. Okay? Yun yung tinatawag natin gravity flow. Next is Okay? So, bago tayo mag-proceed sa next video natin, may papanood muna ako sa inyong video regarding uh, wastewater system. Okay? Para makita nyo. Kasi hindi naman lahat ginagawa ito. Pero most, no, usually in international, which is the US, no, UK, yung may mga 5-star, 7-star hotel, ganito yung pinapa-implement nila. Okay? So this video is a hotel kitchen wastewater treatment system.
Food production and preparing industries utilizes huge quantity of water resources for its day-to-day activities and also generates large quantities of wastewater, especially in peak season. The wastewater produced by commercial kitchens, 5-star hotels, food courts, malls, etc., must meet the environmental standards in order to ensure that your business is not harming the environment. Hotel kitchen produces grease and oils on a daily basis and generates huge wastewater streams containing organic load from food preparation, processing and utensil washing, with the main contaminants oil and grease, proteins, carbohydrates, soap and detergents, and other dissolved and suspended compounds. The effluent from hotel kitchen carries high levels of COD, BOD, solid substances, ammonia, fats, oils and grease etc., as well as emitting smells from acidification. Installing an efficient effluent treatment system can save precious resources and help preserve the environment. If not, then you're risking polluting the environment and endangering public health and safety. RT Eco, Advanced Electrochemical, Hotel Kitchen Wastewater Treatment Plants, are the most efficient, durable and eco-friendly systems in the market. Depending on size of the hotel kitchen and the number of wastewater generating units, daily wastewater volumes, and peak and off-season volumes, we at RT Eco offer you the electrochemical-based, electrocoagulation, flotation and electrooxidation combined hotel kitchen wastewater treatment system. RT Eco, Advanced Hybrid Wastewater Treatment Technology has made it considerably easier for hotel and allied industry to reuse kitchen wastewater, meeting stringent laws and environmental legislation. RT Eco, Advanced Wastewater Treatment Systems, boast a unique flow management method and do a great job at recycling wastewater, managing effluent discharge, and reusable streams. RT Eco is a unique, extremely compact, all-in-one package effluent treatment system with simple operation and great long-term performance, offer you clean reusable water with 99.9% contaminants removal. RT Ecosystems uses smaller footprint and requires 75% less space than conventional systems. Using RT Eco Advanced Wastewater Treatment Systems, 85% water can be reclaimed and reused for gardening, utensil washing, and for other purposes.
Okay, so nakita nyo yun. So, mas convenient para sa kanila kasi unang-una, okay, bago kayo mag-discharge ng water from hotel to the sewer lines, may guidelines na fina-follow. Okay? Kailangan yung water at least free from contaminants, no? So pupunta yung mga yan bago yan ma-approve for to operate. May guidelines na kailangan sundin. Chine-check nila kung yung water ba na nilalabas mo sa hotel mo ay malinis at safe at hindi nakakaapekto sa environment. Okay, so maraming pinagdadaanan yan. So imbis na magbayad ka at gumawa ka ng napakadami treatment, magbayad. Magkano lang naman yung ganong binabayaran na bibili ko ng treatment na portable treatment, no? mas convenient. Okay? Next is water quality. Water quality involves a number of elements that differ in the importance depending on how the water is used. The most important concern is clearly related to potability. Pag sinabing potability, ito yung pwedeng inumin tubig. That is sustainability for drinking. Potability is of specific concern to guests and employees. It involves examining a variety of criteria, including the presence in the water of bacteria, nitrates, trace metals, and organic chemicals. Other water quality concerns not directly related to potability include color, odor, taste, clearness, mineral content, and acidity or alkalinity. Potability concerns were at one time largely limit to concern about coliform bacteria, which indicate the presence of human or animal feces in the water supply. So yun yung isang iniiwasan natin. Okay? Kasi kung sabihin mo, oh, sa water stream naman kami kumukuha, paano kung dun sa bandang 5 kilometer radius, meron palang nagka-camp doon, umiihi, no? May dumumi. Ngayon, dumi mo, kahit malayo, nagkaroon ng baha, na punta doon sa river, doon ka kumukuha. So nakikita nyo, maraming pwedeng causes at possible na pwedeng mangyari para maging contaminant yung mga water. So kailangan, bago inamin, may mga guidelines and criteria na naman na sinusunod. Okay, water quality concerns also involve number of issues that are directly related to potability. These problems may be largely aesthetic, odor, and turbidity, for example, or they may be relevant for water using equipment such as hardiness that is present or dissolving minerals. These problems are generally solved through the use of firms specializing in water treatment. Okay, a common treatment method is the softening of water to reduce high levels of calcium, manganese, and iron in water supply. Calcium and manganese will create scale, a buildup of mineral in boilers and water heaters and on heating elements. Okay. Okay, itong problema, guys. Sa sobrang gusto mong maging potable yung water, no? Downstream. Ang daming chemicals na nilalagay para mawala yung, yun, sabi nga, 'di ba? Para bumaba yung calcium, may lalagay ka, pampatanggal ng odor, medyo may kulay, tatanggalin mo para maging clear. So, ano nangyayari? No? Napakadaming chemical. Ang isang magandang example ko nito, nung kasi, hindi ko alam kung familiar kayo, no? Ito gusto kong example kasi ito yung example sa akin nung high school teacher ko noon sa Cavite noon. Kung na-observe ko to sa Bacoor, Cavite, Bacoor City, Cavite, no? Binabaha kasi doon lagi. So napakadumi ng water nila sa mga ilog, sa mga kanal. Okay? So may mga, syempre, tinitreat nila yung water. Okay? Yung water system nila, tawag dito, nako-contaminant. So ang ginagawa nila, nilalagyan nila ng mataas na fluoride chemical. So what happened? Karamihan ng mga classmate ko noon na taga Bacoor, may stain na white yung ngipin nila na doon nakuha sa water. Dahil sa mataas na element na nakuha doon sa tubig ng Bacoor City. Okay? So yun yung mga example. Sa sobrang daming pwede mong ilagay na chemical, yun yung pwede mangyari. Okay? May mga pwedeng maapektuhan. Okay? Para mas maintindihan nyo yung water potability, okay? So let's watch this video regarding water potability. Okay? So please watch.
In today's video, we're going to take a look at potable water, which is what we call water that's safe to drink. we'll also cover how we can get potable water by either treating freshwater sources or desalinating seawater. Now, although potable water is by definition safe to drink, that doesn't mean that it's pure. In chemistry, pure water would have to contain only H2O molecules, whereas potable water often contains other dissolved substances, which makes it impure. This by itself isn't a problem, but there are 3 criteria for water to meet before it can be considered potable. One is that the levels of dissolved substances needs to be fairly low. Another is that it has to have a pH of between 6.5 and 8.5, so that it's not too acidic or alkaline. And lastly, we have to make sure that there are no microorganisms, like bacteria or fungi, swimming around in it. Next, we need to consider where you actually get potable water from. Generally, this depends on where in the world you live. Most countries have a pretty good supply of fresh water, which is just water that doesn't have much dissolved in it. For example, in the UK, we get a fair bit of rain, which is a type of fresh water. And once it's hit the ground, it generally collects as either surface water or groundwater. Surface water sources are things like lakes, rivers, and reservoirs, literally bodies of water that are exposed at their surface. Groundwater sources, on the other hand, are those found under the ground, like aquifers, which are areas of permeable rock under the ground that trap water. The benefit of using surface water is that it's easy to access and gets replaced frequently by the rain. However, if it's hot and sunny, it can dry up because it's exposed to the sun. So in warmer parts of the UK, we often rely on groundwater instead. Whichever source we get our fresh water from, though, we still need to treat it to make sure that it's safe to drink. The exact technique we use varies, but it generally involves 3 steps. First, we take our fresh water and pass it through a wire mesh to filter out any big things like twigs. Next, we pass it through a bed of sand and gravel, which filters out any other smaller solid bits. And finally, we have to sterilize it to kill any harmful microbes like bacteria, which we can do in 3 ways: either bubbling chlorine gas through it, or exposing it to ozone or ultraviolet light. In some countries though, like those in the Middle East, there isn't very much rain, and so they don't have very good supplies of fresh water. Instead, some of them rely on desalination, which is a technique used to extract potable water from seawater. This sounds like a great idea because there's tons of seawater, so basically a limitless supply. Unfortunately though, both of the techniques that we currently use, namely distillation and reverse osmosis, require loads of energy, and so really expensive, which makes them kind of impractical for producing large quantities of water. In order to desalinate water by distillation, we basically just do the same thing as in simple distillation, like you've seen in school, except we're boiling much larger quantities of salty water, and the apparatus will look different. Regardless though, we still collect the water vapor and condense it to give us pure distilled water. On the other hand, in the reverse osmosis technique, the salty water is passed through a membrane, which only allows the water molecules to pass through. This means that all of the ions and larger molecules get trapped, and so separated from the water. So again, we end up with pure distilled water. Anyway, that's all for this video. So if you enjoyed it, then please do give us a like.
Okay, so nakita nyo, napakaraming process para maging potable ang water nyo. Okay? Siyempre, pag nasa malaking hotel ka, bigger scale yung ginagawa mong operation. So, kailangan mas mabilis at mas convenient. Okay? Next is we have the Legionnaire's disease, another important aspect of water treatment for operation with cooling towers involves Legionnaire disease, formerly called Legionella pneumophilia, first diagnosed in 1976 at the Boulevard Sanford Hotel in Philadelphia. This potentially deadly disease has since been encountered at a number of other locations, including but not limited to hotels. The bacteria involved in this disease are widespread in the environment. Cooling tower with its warm, wet, algae-containing environment is a good place for bacteria to grow. The cooling tower plume provides a means of place the bacteria into the air where people may inhale them, and professionally designed the implemented cooling tower treatment program is among the best preventive tactics available for this disease. Okay, so para mas maintindihan nyo yung Legionnaire's disease, no? May video tayo dito. So ito yung mga isang iniiwasan kung bakit kailangan maayos ang treatment, ang water system natin. Kasi sa atin din mismo, sa hotel operation din mismo nanggagaling yan. No, akala mo safe na pero hindi mo pala alam doon pala sa operation mo, no, nagkukos ka pala ng mas matinding ah, ah, problem later on na hindi mo alam, na hindi ka aware. So let's watch this para lahat kayo aware kayo about Legionnaire's disease, kung saan siya nakukuha at anong pwede niya maging cause sa atin. Okay?
Legionnaire's disease is caused by a type of bacteria called Legionella. The bacteria got its name in 1976 when people at a Philadelphia convention of the American Legion suffered from an outbreak of the disease. Although this type of bacteria was around before 1976, more illness from Legionnaire's disease is being detected now. Each year, between 8,000 and 18,000 people are hospitalized with Legionnaire's disease in the U.S. However, many infections are not diagnosed or reported, so this number may be higher. More illness is usually found in the summer and early fall, but can happen any time of the year. Legionnaire's disease can have symptoms like many other forms of pneumonia, so it can be hard to diagnose at first. Signs of the disease can include a high fever, chills, and a cough. Some people may also suffer from muscle aches and headaches. Chest x-rays are needed to find the pneumonia caused by the bacteria, and other tests can be done on phlegm as well as blood or urine to find evidence of the bacteria in the body. Symptoms usually begin 2 to 14 days after being exposed to the bacteria. A milder infection caused by the same type of Legionella bacteria is known as Pontiac fever. The symptoms of Pontiac fever usually last for 2 to 5 days and may also include fever, headaches, and muscle aches. However, there is no pneumonia. Symptoms go away on their own without treatment and without causing further problems. Legionnaire's disease can be very serious and can cause death in up to 5 to 30% of cases. Most cases can be treated successfully with antibiotics, and healthy people usually recover from the infection. Legionella bacteria are found naturally in the environment, usually in water. The bacteria grow best in warm water, like the kind found in hot tubs, cooling towers, hot water tanks, large plumbing systems, or parts of the air conditioning systems of large buildings. People get Legionnaire's disease when they breathe in a mist or vapor that has been contaminated with the bacteria. The bacteria are not spread from person to person. Outbreaks are when 2 or more people become ill in the same place at about the same time, such as patients in a hospital. Hospital buildings have complex water systems, and many people in hospitals already have illnesses that increase their risks for Legionella infection. Other outbreaks have been linked to aerosol sources in the community, or with cruise ships and hotels. Likely sources of the bacteria having come from whirlpool spas, cooling towers, and water used for drinking and bathing. These are just a few things to know about Legionnaire's disease and how to protect your family. For a list of
Okay? So at least meron kang idea, no? Kung saan siya pwedeng makuha at very critical. Malala yan pag nagkaroon ka. Although, may mga treatment naman na ngayon. Okay? Sabi lang is antibiotics. Next is we have water heating. Okay? Hotel requires a large amount of hot water for uses ranging from guest showers to laundry. Hot water needs for guest room, laundry, and kitchen application, and probably the large at the facility. Employer locker rooms and healthy club facilities can also be significant users. All of these needs are potentially different and should be approached separately. Okay? So sa hotel, lalo na sa mga malaking hotel, meron tayong sa engineering department, merong nakaseparate talaga for the water heating system ng mega hotels. Okay, syempre, imagine mo if you have 12,000 room, 12,000, 1,200 rooms at sabay-sabay naligo yan. paano mo sila ipoproduce, paano mo sila bibigyan ng hot water. Okay? So, para mas maintindihan nyo, may in-example na ako noon. Ito yung papa-example ko ulit ngayon. Okay? So this one, para mas makita nyo at ma-elaborate sa inyo mismo kung paano nag-ooperate ang hot water system sa isang mega hotel. So let's watch this.
101, Julia is looking forward to her morning shower. Back at home, Julia knows that if she's third in line for the shower, the water will be stone cold. But when she's staying at a fancy hotel, she expects a good hot shower even if she's number 2,000 in the queue. And heating enough water for more than 1,000 synchronized showers is a serious challenge. Having an extra big water boiler just won't do the trick. What you really need is this. It looks more like an underfloor oil refinery. It is in fact a 5-star power station. These 4 giant high-pressure boilers produce 60,000 pounds of steam every hour. Forced up by its own pressure, the steam surges through pipes into a heat exchanger, which brings the hot water up to 60 degrees Celsius. Chief Engineer Dan Webster is responsible for keeping these boilers running 24 hours a day. You can never deprive a guest of hot water, so he also has a couple of spare giant boilers, just in case. These machines are so powerful, the forces at work so huge, that if Dan or his team flicked the wrong switch, they'd have the world's first steam-powered spacecraft.
If we see one thing that's not right, we shut it down. If one of these safeties should go, we could physically blow this boiler right through the building, and this thing could become a rocket ship if it was to blow up.
But these boilers are buried deep in the basement, 130 meters below Julia's penthouse suite. So before she can hit the shower, Julia's hot water has a mountain to climb. These 4 200 horsepower pumps pressurize the water to 210 psi. That's 14 times atmospheric pressure. And they pump over 22,000 liters an hour to every extremity of the building. This facility is like a giant mechanical heart. It's constantly circulating hot water throughout the hotel. So the water in the pipes never gets cold. And no matter how many fellow guests turn the taps, Julia's shower is piping hot.
Okay, so nakita nyo? Napaka-critical talaga, no? So, ano sabi doon? Once na pumutok yun, para daw rocket ship made out of steam. So, ganun katakas yung pressure na pinuproduce niya. So, water heating options. We have direct fire water heaters are the typical water heaters found in many homes. Ito yung mga bahay na malayo sa syudad na walang masyadong electricity o boilers. Ang ginagawa nila yung nagpapainit, may kahoy, tapos doon dumadaan yung water. So nagkakaroon sila ng hot water. Indirect fire water heaters are more likely to be found facilities with steam. Okay? So ito yung steam. Heat pump water heaters or HPWH extract heat from the air within a space, then the outside air or water source. The HP uses a refrigeration cycle to remove heat from the air or water and transfer it to the water being heated. Solar energy has been seen limited use for water heating primarily in the sunny locations. May mga ganitong solar energy, makikita niyo yan. Parang may mga tubo siya, no? May water tank na pahaba, tapos parang may mga tubo siya na nakalagay. So yun yung parang water heating system niya. So magkakaiba, depende. Yung iba gumagamit ng fuel, yung iba electricity, yung iba mismong direct fire naman ang ginagamit. So iba-iba. Water system maintenance concerns. Preventive maintenance activities involved with water system include such as task, treating water to make it appropriate to the application or needed. Kaya nga tayo may standard, may fina-follow tayo na guidelines. Replacing sacrificial anodes which decrease pipe corrosion in water heaters. So chine-check yan, lalo na yan sa mga malalaking mega hotels. No, tandaan nyo, pag yan nagkaroon ng corrosion, at numipis yung bakal mo at hindi niya kinayang pressure, puputok yan. Okay? So, talagang naalala niyo yung mga previous topic natin about preventive maintenance. Yan, ginagawa yan, chinecheck yan. Okay? Cleaning up filters and strainers para mas efficient and effective siya. Lubricating pumps. Imagine mo, kung sobra na siyang ilang months na siyang continuous na nag-ooperate. So, kailangan lubricated siya para hindi, kasi every time na umaandar yan, natatanggal lubrication, nababawasan ng nababawasan. So, tumitigas ng tumitigas. No? Unlike pag nilagyan mo ng, ng lubrication, dumudulas siya, mas madali, hindi nahihirapan yung mechanism. Okay, checking hot water temperature setting. Okay, kasi baka mamaya, ang standard mo lang is 45 degrees Celsius. Kaya 45 degrees yung pinapump nyo pero sobra-sobra na pala yung pinapump na umabot na ng 100. Baka mamaya pag on ng dinaluto na siya. Okay? So may guidelines. Checking pressure relief valves of water heaters for proper operation. Okay? Kasama yan sa preventive. Kasi kailangan na-achieve mo na maintain mo yung level of pressure na kailangan mong i-produce para same quality yung naibibigay natin pagdating sa water system. In addition, guest room maintenance consists of repair of leaking valves and generally caulking and sealing around fixtures. Okay? The flame of fossil fuel where heating appliances should be inspected periodically to ensure that the proper combustion is taking place. The fuel should also be checked for blockage. All water heating units should be inspected regularly for sa totoo lang guys, wala nang gumagamit ngayon ng yung sa hotel, yung mga magamit ng direct heat, mga apoy, lahat na steam kasi mas convenient at mas madali siyang i-manage when it comes to maintenance. Okay? Okay. Next is we have yung pinaka-favorite nyo, swimming pool. So swimming pool water system. Many lodging facilities have swimming pools, maintaining a safe, comfortable pool environment in an ongoing challenge requiring a significant amount of time and labor. The failure to do so can result to major problems. Okay? Yeah. So pool cleaning involves skimming of removing flowing debris. Pool equipment is specially designed for pool environment. The cleanliness of pool water involves maintaining a proper balance of water temperature and acidity or alkalinity. Okay? Especially, napakadaming gumagamit yan. Kung hindi mo nililisan yan, ang baho na nung pang 2,000 na maliligo dyan, ang baho na. Okay? Kasi syempre, yung iba hindi mo maiwasan, may umiihi, may may dumudura, may sumisinga, so halo-halo na siya. So kailangan mo din siya i-treat time to time. Kaya nga minsan, makikita mo sa mga malalaking hotels, sinasabi lang nila ang pool is open until 10 p.m. So close na siya 10 p.m. up to sabi mo ng 6 a.m. So yun yung maintenance hour ng maintenance period niya. Okay? So paano ba sila ginagawa? Paano ba nangyayari yan? Okay? So syempre meron tayong video dyan para mas ma-explain sa inyo ng mas maayos. Mas maintindihan nyo. Okay? So here, let's watch this video. Ito kung paano nangyayari yung water system ng swimming pool.
Surely you have been in a swimming pool more than once, and you have enjoyed the refreshing sensation of swimming and diving. Have you ever asked yourself how the water is kept crystal clean? In this short video, we will show you how. All swimming pools have a filtration system to keep the water clean. This system makes the water recirculate in our swimming pool, making it pass through a series of pre-filters and a main filter, which retains the biggest leaves as well as the smaller particles of dust that fall in the water. The main parts of the filtration system are as follows: skimmer, drain, jet nozzles, water pump, filter, stopcocks. Everything that falls on the surface of the water is pushed towards the skimmer, which is placed at water level on the opposite side of the jet nozzles. There is a basket inside the skimmer which retains the leaves and larger objects that have fallen into the water, preventing blockage of the pump or piping. From the drain and the skimmer, the water travels through the piping, where it reaches a second basket, placed just before the pump propeller which moves the water. This is the pre-filter of the pump. In this second basket, smaller objects such as hair, small leaves and grass that have passed through the first basket are retained. The propeller of the pump moves the water towards the main filter, and it is this that generates the pressure in the whole system. The water coming from the skimmer and the drain is regulated by the valves and pushed by the pump to the top part of our filter. The pumped water passes through the selector valve, which, depending on its position, allows us to choose the filter function. Inside the main filter, there is a filter bed made of sand or glass grains that retains the smaller particles that come from the pool. Once the water has gone through the filter bed, it leaves behind all dust, pollen, or any solid particles. Depending on the kind of filter media, we will achieve a better performance. Glass promotes a lower water and energy consumption during the whole process. On leaving the filter, the water is returned to the pool through the return piping that ends in the jet nozzles, which can be found on the opposite side of our pool skimmer. This cycle of recirculating and filtration of the water is non-stop and ensures that our swimming pool will be free of dirt and our water will always be crystal clear.
Okay, so ganun na yung filtering system ng mga hotels. Kasi napaka-laborful kung imaginein mo kung may maglilinis, may mag-i-scrub, no? So yun na yung na-invento nila na mas magandang filtration system ng swimming pool. Hindi na kailangan ng, I mean, kung may magme-maintain na lang at least isa, dalawang tao. Okay, unlike noon. Okay, so napakaganda. Water conservation. Because of rising costs, decreasing availability, and governmental restrictions on usage, hospitality business have several reasons to reduce water usage. The lodging industry had already done some things to reduce water usage. Some actions such as installing low-flow shower heads are common due to part of fact that they also save energy used to heat water. However, actions to reuse water known as gray water are few. With increased pressure or reduced water usage, we may see further use of water recycling, but the need to have a local official approve such actions in some instances and to modify extinguishing plumbing connection, calling for capital expenditure will be two major obstacles which need to be overcome if this is to occur. So, yun yung mga gumagawa, yung mga yan, mga hotel, gumagawa sila ng way para mas malesen yung water consumption. Kagaya nung isang napakagandang example, nung gumagamit sila ng low flow shower heads, no? May water pa rin pero hindi siya ganun kalakas na parang pressurized na mapapansin nyo. Okay? So yun yung mga isang example. Initiating water conservation practices that may affect cash should be done cautiously. One operation that install low volume shower heads received so many guest complaints that choose to install the previous shower heads. Okay, so naging problema pa rin siya. So, feeling ko nakagawa naman ng mga hotels ng paraan para magkaroon pa rin ng water conservation. Okay, siguro na ano na nila yan, yung low flow na yan, naayos na nila yan. Another operation discovered after it had installed new low-volume shower heads, the poor condition of its piping did not allow it to rise whether water pressure high enough to operate the shower heads properly. As it with most changes or new products, try a few as a test monitor result and evaluate a test before implementing. Okay. So yun, nagtatry pa rin sila nagtatry kung paano nila ma-implement yung water conservation. So, napakagaling, no? Pagdating sa hospitality industry. Okay, for your activities, online research for diagram for the flowing and explain the flow system of each. Okay, water system, swimming pool. For activity 2, case analysis, read the following account. What important lesson you have learned from the account? Okay. So, dun sa online research, kung gusto nyong i-print, di mas maganda. No? Pero kung wala naman, pwede naman sa yellow paper. Pero huwag nyo kakalimutan to naisulat yung pangalan nyo, subject, the week, and the date kung kailan siya ipapasa. Okay? So that's all. Thank you for watching and God bless.